Yo, what's going on, bro? My name is Sam. I'm a 16-year-old dropout entrepreneur from Coventry in the UK. Currently on around about 10K a month. I mean, I just did a 20K launch, sold out a couple of weeks ago. And now my clients are getting pretty crazy results. If I just sort of show you this in a second. We've got up to 16K a month cumulatively together. I don't know if this is reverse for you or what. I think I think it might be. But yeah, together with my program, there's 20 guys in there. 10 of us have started selling, and in these 19 days, we've done 4.9K collected, 10.4K in deals. Between six of us, 10 of us are currently selling. Out of 20, the other 10 are just doing free work at the moment. Just to give you a bit of proof. I mean, you probably already know who I am anyway. Just to give you a bit of proof that I know what I'm talking about, and this isn't just some random little child on the internet giving advice. I mean, I'm a child on the internet giving advice, but I'm a child that knows what he's doing. I'm a very intelligent child, or I say so. But anyway, getting into what I want to talk about. So let me just tell the whole story. So a couple of days ago, I mean, it's Thursday the 19th of February right now. So let's just start from like Monday, for example. Monday, wake up 9 a.m., cold shower, meditate, get to work, really happy, getting work done, feel really great. And getting a load of work done, making progress, building the training for my program, which I just showed you about there, which is obviously, I must have done the work well if people are getting the results, but that's enough bragging from me. Anyway, what I was saying was it's like I was just sort of, I was really happy. I was putting the work in and I was feeling good because of that. I sort of realized like when I put the work in, I just feel good, regardless of if I'm getting results or not. I mean, the results make me feel good, obviously. Getting people results and making money for myself. But like the number one thing I've realized that my sort of happiness in life is centered around is if I'm basically putting the work in and living to my sort of peak, living on my edge. And so that day, that Monday, I was putting the work in, and I've been putting the work in for the solid like last 2 weeks as well, like consistent waking up 9 a.m., going to bed, getting solid sleep, meditating, cold showers, just, being solid, fully 100% consistent on self-improvement, getting good work done every single day, like not feeling like I could get done more, like I'm always feeling like I'm getting good work done. And I was solid like that. And then on that Monday, the Monday start this week a couple of days ago, I basically got one big section of the training done. Like the way I sort of teach coaching and shit is in like sort of like 3 phases, if that makes sense. And for the boys in my paid program that I just showed you there, I basically like finished the training for the first phase. I like finished making that. It was like this, sort of week and a half. Yeah, no matter. Yeah, 2 week long project. No, it was over 2 weeks. Almost 2 week long project. It was. That would have been the 15th day I was working on it. And I basically finished it. And I got the last bit out. I was releasing it as I was making it, obviously. But I basically got the last bit out, and it was like a ton of work. I think it ended up being like 6 hours of training or some shit like that I've managed to put together over those 2 weeks, which I know it sounds like 6 hours for 2 weeks. It doesn't sound like much. That's literally like 30 minutes a day, and not even that. It's like 20 minutes a day on average. Like, what's so bad about that? But it's the planning that goes into it, and having it's not even that, it's just everything else, the whole written training, all the sales calls, all the cool templates and trackers, and I literally had to go fucking do some Google sheet coding shit with Python. I literally had to call in my fucking GCSE Python secondary school skills to help me with that. So fair enough, school did help me with coding and shit, but anyway, we're getting besides the point. Basically, my point is I put a ton of work in to build this training, and I built the training and I finished that on Monday. And oh no, I didn't finish it on Monday, sorry. I finished it on Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday I finished it. And then what happened was on Monday, basically I'm planning this trip, like walking coast to coast across the UK. Basically, probably gonna start, I'm doing it in like reverse, starting, fuck, where am I starting? I don't know, it's somewhere around here. But it's from like the Lake District, shit, White, there we go, it's there. And then, yeah, so it's like, shit, I was looking too far north, so it's like here, sort of across here, and like ends up like down there, I believe, or somewhere around here. I don't know if you can really see that, but yeah. Basically, I'm going to be doing a big walk. It's going to be like 16 days, so I'm going to take it quite slow, like 190 miles. And it's going to be really cool. I'm not going to be camping or any shit. I'm literally going to be doing it in March. So, and I've never camped on my own anyway. So I'm not going to be camping. I've got the money to just like stay in accommodation and go and hostels and shit every night. And that way you meet more people as well, which is fun. But yeah, that's basically what I'm going to be doing. I'm planning this trip, and it requires a lot of planning. I've never done any like big. I mean, I have kind of done multi-day hikes before, but like nothing this big. Nothing really this big. Nothing where I'm on my own as well. That's another thing. And so it's required some planning. And so I was just like, all right, I'm gonna take a day off of doing my work. I've just like finished all my work. Um, just finished making all this training, and so it's like I'm gonna take a sort of day off, and I'm gonna go and just sort of plan this trip. And as I'm planning this trip, I'm just getting so motivated, inspired, and excited about it. I'm like, oh shit, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be really, really great traveling. And so I was like, you know what? Like, I am training for it. Like, I am going out most days and like walking like 6 to 10 miles with like 10 kilograms on my back, or like it's 6 to 10 miles with 6 to 10 kilograms on my back. I'm doing, depending on like how tired I am and how much I can be asked to do. But I'm doing that like every day, or probably on average every other day, really. Just sort of training, walking with weight. I mean, I've got the fitness to do it right now easily, but like I want to make it like, so I can really enjoy it, so it's not much of a challenge. It's still going to be a challenge, but anyway, I'm going on to fucking random tangents and shit. And so I was like, you know what? I haven't done like a really long walk. This is what I was thinking on Monday. On Monday, when I was planning this trip, I was like, I haven't done a really long walk since like October, or it was September. I haven't done like a really long walk since September. In September, I did like 30 miles, and I partially ran that as well, and it's mostly on tarmac, which made it a lot easier. And I didn't have any weight on me at all then. I just sort of carried some food and water. And I thought that was really fun. Like, I basically, I went around the countryside, like, oh shit, my big map of my local area ain't on the wall, so can't show you. But basically, I just sort of went around these sort of like historic, I mean, I live in like basically the centre of England. And so I just sort of went around these like historic villages, historic castles and shit, on this like 30-mile walk, this big loop one day, which is like partially round, partially walk. I started walking when I couldn't be asked to carry on running, basically. I was too tired, but I did like, I don't know, like 20 miles running probably, and like another 10 miles walking. And that was like really fun. I enjoyed doing a long distance endurance stuff, and it was fun, but it does take a whole day, so it's a lot of time. And I was like, I haven't done something like that in a while. I want to go do something like that again. It can be incorporated into my training. Like, I want to do at least 1 or 2 like really long days, before I go out, because like when I'm doing the coast to coast walk, it's going to be like average of 12 miles a day, I think, which is very doable, 100%. But it's like you do it day after day after day, the tiredness will build up. And so I want to just sort of, do a long training day. So I was thinking on Monday, you know what? I've got my work done tomorrow and Tuesday. I don't really have much to do, the only thing I really need to do is like review some sales calls, like make some YouTube videos. It's not really an important task compared to building training, going on sales calls, that sort of shit. It's very unimportant tasks. And so I was thinking, like, there's nothing stopping me from just, taking tomorrow off, or maybe the day after if I need to recover, and just doing a really, really long walk tomorrow. And so guess what I did? On Tuesday, I did a really long walk, and I ended up doing like, I think it ended up being like 26 miles, like 41 kilometers, I think it was. Literally just, it's fucking, the UK is flooded right now, bro. It's so wet here. And so it was all through mud. And so like, I know I said like I did 30 miles on the other one, and I ran 20 of it. That 30 miles in September was significantly easier than this 26 miles. And I basically, I just sort of went a different route, different way. I went north this time, and went like further than I ever had, just for sort of context. If you know the West Midlands, this area of Coventry, I'm in like Coventry, in like the cardinal directions in the west of Coventry, and I ended up sort of near Nuneaton, and then I came back down. I did like a big loop up to Nuneaton and then back down, if anyone knows that. But yeah, it was like 26 miles basically, completely fucked because I was sliding around everywhere, and it was really tiring. And it was at the point like when I basically got back into the city, back from the countryside back into the city for the last couple of miles in the city. I remember walking down this road, and I'm completely going off point here, but I just want to tell the story anyway because it's a fun story. I was like walking down this road, and it's like this big like long like dual carriageway road, and this was like 9 p.m. at night. Big long dual carriageway road that sort of leads back into the city. This was for anyone who knows. I know there's actually a few people who watch my videos who are from my area. It's Camden Wedge Road, if anyone knows that. Basically, it's this road that's sort of, it's got like fields on either side, but it's like within the city, if that makes sense, kind of. But it's like 2 miles long or 3 miles. I don't know. It's like 2 miles long maybe. And basically, I was walking down this, and so it's completely like deserted. There's no streetlights or anything. It's completely dark, and then a car would just come through like every now and then, and it's a really like straight. It's like slightly curved, you know. And so I was just like fucking like trekking, just with my head down and just walking, and I got into this really fucking odd flow state, bro. And I felt like a fucking zombie, bro. I was like, I felt like I was on the fucking moon, like on a different planet for a while. It was really odd because imagine it's just pitch black. It was middle of the month as well, so there's no bright moon. You know, it's just really dark. I can barely see where I'm walking, but I'm just sort of moving. And then it's like I was like starting to feel like a zombie. And I remember like I got off that road and like into another park, like Ausley Park. If anyone, my dad's probably watching this and want to know where I was. Like I got into sort of like over that junction at the end of the road and like into this park. And again, it was pitch black, but I sort of managed to like get through like the fence into the park. It wasn't through a proper entrance, and then it was all like completely flooded and muddy. But I managed to get into this like little bridge thing, and I literally just like kneeled down for like 10 minutes and just like sat there, because I was like so fucking tired. And then I got up and I started like walking like through the path of the park to like where I needed to leave the park to obviously get to my house. And like I was walking through this path, and again it's pitch black, completely dark, and I'm fucking like limping like a fucking zombie, you know. It's pitch black, and as I'm walking, there's like these two people that come up, and it's these two girls, and I can't even remember what I said to them. I just like automatically said like evening or something like that to them, and then like they didn't say anything back, and as they're behind me and I'm walking away, I just hear them like mention like crack or something like that, and I think they thought I was on drugs or something like that. Because imagine I'm just fucking like limping like a fucking zombie, you know. I mean, it was fun though. I mean, it wasn't fun in the moment, but looking back, it was fun training. But anyway, that was just the most random, no, well, not random, it's relevant story. I've just gone on a big tangent. But basically, it was very tiring, and I really fucked myself up. I really, when I say fucked myself up, like, it was tiring. Like, I was obviously tired, my feet were sore. I mean, I didn't get any blisters. I managed to manage my blisters really well, so didn't get any blisters, which is nice. But like, you know, your skin is just all, your feet are all swollen, your skin is sore on your feet, just everywhere, even though it's not rubbing, just from like pressure, you know, and like your ankles are all tired. And then in particular, my fucking hamstring, that thing there doesn't like it when I do distance. And right now, it's like 2 days later, and I'm gonna get onto that. I'm recovered everywhere apart from that one hamstring, like inside of my hamstring. But that's always my constraint. But anyway, it's like then yesterday, so the yesterday being the day after I did this walk, I was just like, I woke up and I was just naturally so tired. Like I got 11 hours of sleep, but I still felt so tired, which is obviously because like almost all of my sleep was going to be going into recovering my physical body and not my mind. You know, that's what your body does. And so I was feeling tired despite having 11 hours of sleep. And you know, I was just like, ah, shit, man, I can't be asked to work today. I had no calls or anything, and so I did my messages and stuff, and I did some work, like light work and shit, and I got some basic stuff done. And then I just ended up like watching like random YouTube geography documentaries for the rest of the day, and just like random. This is what I do with my time, bro. And just like I was playing it's like geography quizzes, like. I've really, because I already know this stuff, but I was just making sure I could remember, like, all the countries in the world, like, doing quizzes on them, like, all the capitals of the world, all the country code, like, phone number country codes of the world. I'm a big geography nerd, and so I was just, like, doing quizzes for them and shit. You know, just because I can't be asked to work, my nervous system is just, like, so fucked and so tired from doing that, you know? And then it's like I did that, and I remember I went to bed at, like, midnight, because, I mean, midnight to 9 a.m. is my sort of sleep schedule. And I was like, you know what, bro? If this carries on, I wasn't like feeling regretful of that day, like last night, for wasting the time, because I knew that I just needed to recover. And so then basically, I was pretty much like, you know what? Like I know that I've like, you know, wasted today. I'm completely fine with that. I've got genuinely no regrets with that, because I knew that I wouldn't be able to get good work because I was so tired and like fucked, you know. And so I was like, okay, but like tomorrow, basically, like I need to get back to it, because if I don't get back to it tomorrow, and if I let myself basically stick to this routine of doing nothing, I'm gonna fall into a rut, and I'm gonna not get as much work done, and I'm gonna feel bad, and everything's gonna be bad. And so I was like, okay, wake up at 9 a.m., get back to the normal routine, solid morning routine, you know, wake up, cold shower, meditate, and then I just get to work, and I just sort of see what work I can get done. There's no real like hard work I can get done. The main work task I had was like editing this onboarding video, you know, doing some sales calls reviews, other shit like that. And so I was like, you know what, I just get the bare minimum, and I had like I had like two calls that day as well, two like short calls. This was today, by the way, that I'm talking about. And so I was like, you know what, I'll just sort of wake up at 9 a.m., get back into the normal sleep schedule, because that day before, the day after I did the walk, that day there, which was the Wednesday, so yesterday I woke up at like, I don't know, 11 or something like that. So like later than normal. I got like 11 hours of sleep instead of 9, obviously, because I was tired. But yeah, I was like, wake up at 9 a.m., cold shower, meditate, get back into that routine, and I just sort of see what work I can get done. I don't pressure myself to work really hard and get shit done, but I just see what I can get done. And so this morning, I wake up at 9 a.m., I'm tired, I didn't want to get up, get in the cold shower, didn't want to do it, just sort of push myself through it. Meditated again. I mean, to be fair, I enjoy the meditation now, so that wasn't hard to do. But I just did that, and then I got to work, and again, I couldn't really get much work done, and it's like I sort of started like figuring shit out in my journal, and then I did all my messages and stuff that I need to do and responded to all that sort of stuff. And then I sort of kind of got that work done, and then I ended up, I had like some other call with someone, like some short call, and then like I kind of got to editing this onboarding video, very light, like basic work, like that onboarding video. I could have very easily got some, like just paid someone else to edit it. And I was gonna do that, but I was like, you know what, like I want to just do this easy work today just to get back into it, so I did it myself. And yeah, I just sort of got that done, then I went on another call, and then I haven't really got like much significant work tasks done today. And so now it's 6:30 right now, 6:30 p.m. right now. And I was just sort of like finishing up on these like sales calls reviews and shit, and like organizing all the sales calls reviews, which is like the first step to like building the next section of the training, but it's a very easy work to do. And I just sort of started like thinking, okay, with this like new training, like with phase 2 of the training, remember I just finished phase 1, it's now time to build phase 2. I was just sort of like getting inspired and getting ideas, and I just thought like, like the music is playing, I was just sort of feeling good, and I was like, oh shit, I'm actually like getting back into it. I'm enjoying the work again. I was feeling like I did on that Monday or that Sunday, where I said I was enjoying the work and I was feeling good. I was sort of getting back into that mindset. And I know this is getting to be a pretty long video, but a sort of moral of this story, what I've learned, is that when you're doing your work, and you're getting shit done and you're trying to get a consistent schedule and a consistent routine, it really does. There's two things I sort of want to teach, and I might come up with another lesson by explaining these two. But the first thing I want to teach is work hard, play hard, and the second thing I want to teach is basically you're not David Goggins, and we'll get to that. So the first thing with work hard, play hard is that you shouldn't let your work and your play like sort of intermingle and mix up. When you're working, you should be working and only focused on work, and don't give a fuck about enjoying yourself and having experience and shit. It should be only work. And when you're in your play period, that's when you can be social, that's when you can travel, that's when you can do cool shit. And you don't mix the two within days. Like you basically want to have like as long a work period and then as long a play period as possible. So for example, it's like for the past couple of months, since literally like November, I've been in a solid work period, and I've literally done like zero play whatsoever, okay? And that's been great. I've made like tons of progress with business. And then it's like I decided to go into a very, and then for example, like we're doing my coast to coast walk, that's going to be like a 16-day period of like play, where I'm having fun and I'm not doing work. And the thing is, when I'm in my work period, I'm not trying to go out and enjoy myself and be social and and speak to people. Like I genuinely haven't spoke to a girl since like October, since I was in Poland, and that sounds so horrible, but I've just been I've just been doing my work. I've just been focused on work. I'm not getting distracted by, fun things, okay? I've just been locked in, hard work, hard work, hard work. But then I go and do my coast to coast walk, which I'm planning on doing that pretty much once I finish building the training. And so like after doing my work period of selling my program and then building the program, when I've got that solid shit done, and I've sort of got a lot basically done, I'll be in a natural period of business where it sort of lulls and slows down for a bit, and then I go have my play period, and I go on my coast to coast walk. An example of when, and that's hopefully going to go pretty well with the hard work, hard play, because then it's like the hard work, you don't get distracted by having fun, and then with the play, you don't get distracted by work. I guess you can do that on the macro scale, like the large scale, like, me working on business since November and then going and doing the coast to coast walk in March. You can also do it on the sort of micro scale. And for example, that for me, so I wake up and I work basically the entire day. And then probably around about like 3 or 4 p.m. I like finish my work. And then after that, it's like I spend time with my family. I usually like play with my brother a bit. I have my food. And then usually, I mean, sometimes I naturally get pulled back into work. But usually what happens after that is I just spend the rest of the day chilling, and I don't even really think about business. Like, I'll respond to a few messages from clients, like if they're short things. But other than that, I literally don't do anything for work. And it's just like hard work in the morning, and I don't try and enjoy myself at all in the morning. And then I finish my work, and then I eat and I enjoy myself, and I spend time with family. And so it's like you do one thing at a time, basically. Hard work, hard play. An example of where work hard, play hard didn't work out was like this October, for example, October 2025. My friend Vincent from Florida, or he's from all over the US, but he basically came over from Florida to the UK and lived with me here in the UK. And we were planning on like sort of doing hard work, hard play at the same time, if that makes sense. Or we were planning on sort of doing it both, where it's like, we'd work and we'd get work done together, and then we'd go and, have fun and then go out and do shit and go do cool shit. And basically what happened was I mean, I don't know how he felt about it, but I felt I didn't really achieve either. I didn't really get much work done because I was always getting distracted, because he was, we were in the same room. We literally shared this same room, which isn't big enough for two people to, work and live comfortably. And so I wasn't able to really get solid work done. And then at the same time, I wasn't also really able to enjoy myself and go and, have fun and mess around and do shit, because then I was always thinking about doing the work. And I was thinking about doing the work because I wasn't getting the work done, and I needed to get the work done. But when I was doing the work, I was thinking about going and having fun and doing cool shit, because, my online friend who I've known for like 2.5 years is now living with me, so it's cool, and I want to do cool stuff, but obviously then I can't because I've got to do the work. So you see how it's sort of fucked. But then, for example, like, I guess a micro example of work hard, play hard. I don't know, I'll sort of thread this story back in. Me doing this walk, like this 41k walk the other day, that was like a sort of, I guess, more on a micro scale, the sort of work hard, play hard, because I worked hard, I got the training done, and then I decided to take 1 day, like 2 days off, like 1 day to do the walk, another day to recover, and now I'm getting back into it. And so first lesson, work hard, play hard. Second lesson is you're not David Goggins, and this is a big thing I've learned recently, and I just explained it to one of my clients, Patrick, as well, on one of our calls a few hours ago. And basically that's when you're sort of not being consistent, and when things are kind of fucked and you haven't been doing the work. For example, with me yesterday, I know it's sort of recovery day, but I knew that it's kind of fucked, and there was a chance of me carrying on, like not doing any shit at all, and sort of falling in that rut, like I said. Instead of me, taking it really hard and serious and being like, okay, yesterday I didn't do anything, meaning today I've got to do double. Instead of doing that sort of David Goggins discipline mindset. I mean, that could work for you, especially if you sort of work out of a place of darkness and a place of fear. In that, like, you're sort of working out of darkness and fear and those negative emotions which push you away from, like, you sort of, you feel the pain, and the pain is what motivates you to run away from the pain, and then that's how you achieve the results. If you work out of a place of darkness, then definitely that will probably work for you. That's not me, though, so I can't really speak on that. I feel I work out of more of a place of like love and light, in that I'm like, where I'm at right now, it isn't horrible, it's good, and because it's good, I want to make it better, because I'm so grateful and gifted to be in a good spot. I want to do the best I can to make it better. That's sort of working out of a place of light, whereas you might work out of a place of darkness, where it's like, oh, where I'm at is so fucking horrible and I hate it, I've got to escape, So if you work out of a place of darkness, maybe the David Goggins discipline mindset will probably work for you, where it's like you slack and then you go harder on yourself because you slacked. Again, I can't really speak on that because I haven't experienced that myself. But if you work out of a place of light, which I think most of you boys who follow me, you probably do, because like you sort of tend to, follow the people who you like the most. As in, like, for example, I'm very like anti-materialistic. Like, I'll buy, for example, I'm recording this on the newest iPhone because I invest into it as a tool. Like, I've got the newest MacBook, which is like 2.5 grand, because I want to invest into the newest, best tools, which will help me. And that's my sort of materialism. I made a whole video on that, where you have materialism and shit that's going to help you, and you buy the best tools, compared to materialism as in like Dubai, Lamborghinis, sort of flying out to Dubai or flying out to fucking, like, maybe not Bali. Bali ain't that materialistic really, or like anywhere in Thailand, but primarily Dubai, and to rent out the supercars and shit, and fucking rent out a big penthouse and that sort of materialism. I'm not really for that. Like, I will experience it one day, sure, but that's not what motivates me. I don't like care about watches or shit right now. I prefer to wear a Whoop band, track my health because it's useful to me. That's my sort of mindset with materialism. You're probably like attracted to me, or not attracted to me, but you get what I mean. You probably follow me because you have a similar mindset where you're like, oh, I don't really care about materialism and watches and the stuff. That's that kind of stuff. Like other people do. I don't care about that sort of stuff. I care about freeing myself from school, going traveling, helping out my family. That's probably you because like I think that way. So you probably watch me because we're the same. And what I'm saying is I sort of improve. I work out of a place of light and like I'm appreciative for where I am and I want to make it better. And I've always been this way. I've naturally always been this way. And so what I'm saying is you're probably also this way where you work out of a place of light and not out of a place of materialism or those dark negative emotions, which there's nothing bad with them. There's nothing bad with them. It's like, equal on each side. There's nothing sort of bad with that. But what I'm saying is you're probably working out of a place of light and you are the same as me because you are watching me, if that makes sense. And so I'm assuming you work out of a sort of place of light, and basically the lesson I'm going to teach you is you aren't David Goggins. You can't just fucking work really, really hard and like solve all your problems like that just by putting more effort in, because then, you're sort of taking the wrong approach to it. You're sort of trying to use those dark negative emotions when that's not naturally you. And so instead you've got to use the light emotions, and instead of working out of a place of like, oh, I did so horribly yesterday, I've got to escape that pain, escape that fear, I've got to do double today, I've got to work even fucking harder. Instead of you having that mindset, you've got to be more in the mindset of like, oh, okay, yesterday I did badly, that's fine. I'm still in a really fucking great place. Okay, and because I'm still in a great place despite doing bad yesterday, out of a place of love and a place of appreciative, like gratefulness for where I am, I'm gonna do even better now. Okay, and despite my younger self of yesterday kind of fucking me over, because of that, I'm gonna make sure that future me doesn't experience that. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that future me doesn't experience that, and I'm gonna do it for future me. And you sort of do it out of a place of light and a place of positive energy of growth rather than fear. You do it out of love, not out of fear, because that's probably who you are just because you watch me, like I'm saying. And so what I've sort of realized is, and especially from yesterday where I said like, I did that 41 kilometer, 26-mile walk, and then, yesterday I sort of slacked because I was tired. What I sort of realized yesterday was, oh shit, if I was to try and push myself today, then I would probably, like, just like the elastic band would snap back. I'd pull the band and it just snapped straight back, and I just go fucking straight back into it, and straight back into the rut and wasting time. And so I was like, you know what? I'll take it slowly. I want to improve, but I'm not doing it out of a place of fear or a place of, of like pain or anything. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to improve on what I can. I'm going to do what I can, and I'm going to make today better, okay? And so then, I did that. I sort of got some work done. It wasn't the best. I was feeling tired. But then, like I said, I just started working. And I just started feeling really, really, really good. Because I'd made a bit of progress today. And I started getting those ideas again. And I got motivated again. And then I was feeling good again. And so, basically, first thing, work hard, play hard. Second thing, you're not David Goggins. And probably if you follow me and you're anti-materialistic like I am, then most likely you work out of a place of light. And in that case, you're not David Goggins and you probably need to take it slower. And so, for example, like with Patrick, one of my clients who I just told you about, or I mentioned him, basically he had a similar problem where he was sort of, I think he works out of a place of light. To be fair with him, I'm not too sure. But with Patrick, for example, and in fact, no, he probably does, to be fair, because his main concerns with something else were about his pet, right? We won't go into that. But anyway, basically with him, he was like, I'm trying to wake up at 3 a.m. every single day, get the work done, lock in, hard grind. And, whenever he'd like fuck up and mess up, he'd like punish himself, or he'd get us to like give him a punishment he had to do. And it'd be some crazy shit like, I don't know, put a plunger on his head and send a photo without any context to his mum, just random shit like that. And he actually did that. That's an example way. I haven't got the image like properly as a file, but yeah, that's Patrick there. That is indeed Patrick with a plunger on his head, and he sent that photo to his mother. But the point I was making, sorry, was that he would punish himself and shit, and he would go hard on himself, and when he messed up, if he got sick and he played video games, then, he would go hard on himself and punish himself to try and sort of, bring himself back from that. And we just talked on a call there and tried to figure out, what's going wrong here. And I just sort of gave him that advice I just said about you're not David Goggins, and we said, like, you know what, like, he's been waking up at 4:30 a.m. like today, I think it was. Woke up at 4:30 a.m. today. It wasn't 3 a.m., but it was 4:30 a.m. And so, yeah, basically, I was just like, that's fucking great, bro. It's not 3 a.m., but it's fucking great. It's 4:30 a.m. Still pretty early. If you can do 4:30 a.m. tomorrow, do it. If you have to do 5 a.m., do it. If you can do 4 a.m., that'd be fucking awesome. And you're sort of just giving that mindset of like, like that slow improvement, improving over time. That's the other thing. If you want to get out of a rut, don't fucking just try and like fucking rip the band-aid off and like pull yourself out just like that. Because what it is, imagine like with elastic band, the elastic band is like your self-image, okay, and you've got this elastic band, and when you like try and stretch the elastic band, that's you trying to become someone new. That's you trying to basically start acting different and start improving things in your life. Now, if you think about it, if you like pull the elastic band really fucking fast, that shit is either gonna break, and I don't know what that means. Like you kill yourself, maybe, I don't know. Or probably what will happen is you pull it, you lose grip on it, and it snaps back. That's what's gonna happen. Whereas if you slowly pull it and you improve over time, and you apply more pressure over time, and you slowly pull it over time, the elastic band will actually stretch out, okay? And it'll become like the stretched elastic band, the new person you want to become, okay? That's a sort of, I think Hamza came up with that analogy. It's a very good analogy. Credits to Hamza for that analogy. But Hamza's really fucking good at this self-improvement stuff. He's not good at business, but he's good at self-improvement. I've got to give him that. But yeah, basically, it's like you'll sort of slowly stretch into that new person compared to if you just fucking like try and rip yourself out. It's not gonna work. You're gonna go back. You've got to be more controlled. You don't want to be. You want to. It's in a weird way. It takes more discipline to go easier on yourself than it does to go hard on yourself, because you might be thinking like you're being disciplined by going hard on yourself and just like pushing yourself back. But in reality, it's easier to do that because by doing that, you're running away from the fear and the pain of the fact that you fucked up by trying to just overcompensate, if that makes sense. Instead of just like literally, instead of confronting that regret of like, fucking up the day before. Because if you fuck up the day before, you need to confront that. You need to confront that. You need to say, oh shit, I did badly. Why did I do badly? You need to confront that regret, those feelings, instead of just hiding from it by like doing double the work the next day and pretending like you've made up for it. Because at the end of the day, the reason you fuck up and you get inconsistent, it's because there is some core problem within your mind that causes you to do that. And so you just trying to do like double the discipline, put double the effort in to try and compensate for that deep problem. That isn't curing the problem. It's just putting a fucking band-aid on it. It's not a cure for it. It doesn't even heal it. It's just like, what's the word for it? It's treatment, it's not a cure. Like, for example, there's treatment for cancer, but there's not a cure for cancer. It's the same thing. You're sort of treating the problem of like, oh, yesterday I didn't do the work, so today I do double. You're treating it by sort of getting back up to the level you're supposed to, but you're not curing the deeper problem of like you're fucked up in the brain from the core, you got trauma. And so what I'm saying is you basically need to like confront that straight on, head on. Confront these deep problems head on. When you fuck up, journal about it. Why did I fuck up? What happened? Why do I think this way? Why do I feel this way? And I mean, I'm not a fucking like trauma, spirituality shit expert, but I mean, I think I've learned a good amount just from my own self, and this is what I'm teaching you. And so, I would honestly just say, bro, this is getting to be quite a long video. I would honestly just say, like, whenever you fuck up like this, and you have a bad day and you get inconsistent, what would be my advice to you? Well, firstly, figure out why you've done it. Figure out why you fucked up. Journal about it. Confront these negative emotions. Confront the deep trauma, the deep fact, okay? Because you're not going to get any better by just trying to treat it and hide from it. You need to cure it. And sort of figure that out, and sort of understand that, and then take it slowly. Don't like pull the elastic band slowly. You're not David Goggins. Pull the elastic band slowly. And then also, the work hard, play hard. That's another side bit of advice. But yeah, hopefully that's some good advice for you. Hopefully that helps you out, get more consistent. But yeah, that's that. Good talking today, bro. If you basically want to get my entire course for completely free, which will teach you how to make your first $1,000 online by coaching. Basically, if you're a young man, probably on self-improvement, you probably watched Hamza and he's probably helped you with self-improvement. Maybe you're trying some sort of self-improvement YouTube or sort of Skool community or some shit like that. If that's you and you're doing some of that sort of stuff, I can help you. I can change your life. I mean, you can just fucking look at them. You can join my Skool community and just fucking look at the crazy results we're getting in there, bro. Not even just for my paid program, just for the free community. Like, you come in the win section and there'll be just people getting results, sales, getting testimonials, high ticket sale, this is just like normal shit we get, like, we get like a sale, like sale or two every week. Basically all I'm saying is I can help you. I will change your life. What I can teach you will fucking work. I'm not special. I just know what works and I've figured it out and I can basically teach it to you. I've sort of systemized that. If you want that and you want it for completely free as well, then you can join the $1,000 protocol. That is my free Skool community. There is the link in the description for that. Which will help you out with everything business and even, self-improvement, consistency related to help you get more work done with your business. I'll help you with that too. I mean, we've literally got like the whole $1,000 protocol for free in here. And then you can also, even further, you can get like paid program training for free if you level up enough. And then we got like free coaching calls every week and shit, and which is a really fucking awesome community, bro. Like, I really love this community. Yeah, our brotherhood, I really fucking love it, bro. It's so awesome just having so many of the guys around you who all think the same, all working on the same stuff. So yeah, if you want to know exactly what to do, because I'll teach you that in the free $1,000 protocol. You want me to help you with the free coaching? I mean, you can also make posts in here, even if you don't want to come on one of the calls. You just make a post and, you got a question or shit, I'll just respond to it, bro. Even so, you can just join my school and DM me if you got a question and I'll get back to you. But yeah, I'm really excited for you to join and I'm down to help you out and I hope this video helps you out. But yeah, that is that. Good talking today, bro, and goodbye.